Namaskar, good morning. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with Breakfast News. Let's begin the bulletin with the headlines. US President Donald Trump wraps up India visit. White House says both countries deepening security relationship, helping to promote free and open Indo-Pacific region. Prime Minister Modi says Indo-US friendship benefits people of our nations and the world. President Kovind calls on US, a valued friend, at state banquet for US President Trump, asserts India deeply committed to strategic partnership between the two countries. Trump calls his two-day visit in India very productive. $12.67 lakh new jobs created in December 2019. New ESIC payroll data shows 1.49 crore new subscribers during financial year 2018-19. Government prepares to evacuate remaining Indians from coronavirus hit Wuhan. India's on-cruise ship off Japan to also be evacuated. Iran reports 100 coronavirus cases, 15 deaths. Outbreak spreads in Europe from Italy. Nation marks first anniversary of Balakot airstrikes. IAF Chief RKS Bhadoria to visit frontline base in Kashmir. After concluding his two-day India visit, US President Donald Trump left for United States on Tuesday night. Prime Minister Narendra Modi thanked him for his visit. Taking to Twitter, Prime Minister Modi called the visit path-breaking, where both countries covered great ground in strengthening bilateral relations. The Prime Minister added that the India-USA friendship will benefit the people of both the nations and the world. In another tweet, Prime Minister Modi thanked Ivanka Trump and her husband and extended wishes in their endeavors to further women empowerment and enterprise. And hours after President Donald Trump concluded his worldwide 36-hour tour of India, the White House on Tuesday said the visit aimed at deepening the strategic partnership between both the nations. In a statement, the White House said that the United States and India benefit from strong economic ties that advance prosperity, investment, and job creation in both countries. The White House added that the US President and Prime Minister Modi are working towards a trade pact that reflects the full potential of the economic partnership between both the nations. It also stated that both the countries are working closely with India to combat terrorism, confront global drug trafficking, and promote a free and open Indo-Pacific. And before his departure, US President Donald Trump attended a grand state banquet hosted in his honor by President Ramnath Kovind at Rashtrapati Bhavan. Accompanied by First Lady Melania Trump, was received by President Ramnath Kovind at the forecourt of the majestic Rashtrapati Bhavan and his wife Savita, after which the two presidents met for ceremonial talks. And on the second day of the US President Donald Trump's maiden visit to India, he held a summit-level meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday. Both leaders said that the relationship between the two countries is going to be the tie-up of the century. The two leaders talked on all issues of mutual and global concern and chalked out a trajectory on how to tap the capabilities of both the countries together. They asserted that India and the US are going to forge a comprehensive partnership. President Trump said he was working with Pakistan against terrorism.
आज राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप और मैंने हमारे संबंधों को कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव ग्लोबल स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप के स्तर पर ले जाने का निर्णय लिया है। संबंधों को इस मुकाम तक लाने में राष्ट्रपति ट्रंप का अमूल्य योगदान रहा है। फ्रेंड्स, आज हमारी चर्चा में हमने इस पार्टनरशिप के हर अहम पहलू पर सकारात्मक विचार किया, चाहे वो डिफेंस एंड सिक्योरिटी हो, एनर्जी स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप हो, टेक्नोलॉजी कोऑपरेशन हो, ग्लोबल कनेक्टिविटी हो, ट्रेड रिलेशंस हो या फिर पीपल टू पीपल टाइज।
The two sides also signed 3 MOUs in the field of oil and gas, cooperation in mental health and safety of medical products.
We expanded our defense cooperation with agreements for India to purchase more than $3 billion of advanced American military equipment, including Apache and MH-60 Romeo helicopters, the finest in the world. These deals will enhance our joint defense capabilities as our militaries continue to train and operate side by side. In our discussions, Prime Minister Modi and I affirmed our two countries' commitment to protecting our citizens from radical Islamic terrorism. In this effort, the United States is also working productively with Pakistan to confront terrorists who operate on its soil.
India and the US have expanded their defense cooperation with agreements for India to purchase more than $3 billion of advanced American military equipment, including Apache and MH-60 Romeo helicopters. Trump also interacted with Indian industry leaders on Tuesday. Speaking at the high-profile CEO roundtable, Trump said, "It has been an honor to be in India." Trump claimed that he is going to win the coming US presidential elections that will cause markets to boom. The US president also praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
You have a statutory process, so we're going to cut regulations, but we have to give a 90-day notice, then we have to give 120 days, then we have to give 30 days, and we're in that process now with respect to a lot. No, we're going to cut a lot more regulations. No, and we're going to also have regulation, because I think you need regulation for safety and for environmental. But no president has ever cut anywhere close to what we've done. And I've done it in 3 years, and some of them have been for 8. In one case, is more than 8. But no president has come close. But we are in statutory environments where we have to go. We have one where we have to wait 6 months before we do phase 2, which is, and there's 4 or 5 phases, but they're all in a pipeline to get cut.
And President Trump lauded Prime Minister Narendra Modi for working very hard on religious freedom. Rajya Sabha TV's Foreign Affairs editor Akhilesh Suman asked the US President about terrorism emanating from Pakistan in Jammu and Kashmir.
So we did talk about religious freedom, and I will say that the Prime Minister was incredible on what he told me. He wants people to have religious freedom, and very strongly, and he said that in India they have worked very hard to have great and open religious freedom.
Mr. President, I am Akhilesh Suman. I am from Rajya Sabha Television. It's a parliamentary channel of India, upper house, like you've seen it.
Good.
India's concern is with neighborhood. And you and Prime Minister Modi tell that you are very good friends. What is your strategy about terrorism that is coming out from Pakistan to India? Because we have been suffering from this type of terrorism for the last 20 years or so. What is your strategy? What are you going to do?
We talked a lot about Pakistan. I have a very good relationship with Prime Minister Khan, very good. We talked about it today at length, actually, and Prime Minister Modi. And it's no question it's a problem, but it's a problem they're working on it. India is, it's a brave nation too. There's no pullback from India. And we just hope, and I said I'll help, I'll do whatever I have to do if I can do that. because my relationship with both gentlemen is so good. But there has been difficulty in Pakistan, and we're seeing what we can do about it. Anything I can do to mediate, anything I can do to help, I would do. They're working on Kashmir. Kashmir has been a thorn in a lot of people's sides for a long time. And there are two sides to every story, but they've been working on that very hard. We discussed it at great length, terrorism, and I think we have some very good ideas. He's very, very strongly against terrorism. I'll tell you, Prime Minister Modi is a very religious man, as you know. He's a very calm man, but he's actually a very, very strong person, very tough, actually. When I've seen him in action, and he's got that foremost in his mind, terrorism. He'll take care of it.
Meanwhile, US First Lady Melania Trump attended a happiness class at a South Delhi government school on Tuesday. She interacted with students at the school and witnessed various activities conducted as part of the happiness curriculum. Addressing the students, Melania said, "It is very inspiring that students begin their day with practicing mindfulness and connecting with nature."
Wow, almost you all have participated.
The President and I are grateful to be guests for a beautiful country and to have received such a warm reception during our time here. I learned that your school's name, Sarvodaya, means prosperity for all. As I walked around, I was able to see how the concept exists in curriculum, in the leadership of the teachers, and in the spirit of enthusiasm of the students. A short while ago, I visited a classroom and observed its happiness curriculum. It is very inspiring to me that the students here begin each day by participating mindfulness.
And some more developments. Biennial elections to fill 55 seats in the Rajya Sabha will be held on 26th of March. The Election Commission made the announcement on Tuesday. 55 members of the Rajya Sabha from 17 states are retiring in April 2020. The notification will be issued on 6th of March. 13th March will be the last date of making nominations. The scrutiny of nominations will take place on 16th of March. 18th of March will be the last date for withdrawal of candidature. Elections to fill the 55 Rajya Sabha seats falling vacant in April will be held on March 26, 2020. Announcing the dates of the Rajya Sabha election, the Election Commission of India on Tuesday announced that biennial elections will be held in 17 states following the retirement of the members. Here is a detailed report.
The Election Commission of India announced biennial elections to 55 Rajya Sabha seats on 26 March 2020. The seats from 17 different states will fall vacant between April 2nd and 12th. The Election Commission said 51 of these 55 seats are falling vacant in April 2020 due to retirement of sitting members. 4 other seats are already vacant due to resignation of members. The terms of these members who resigned are also ending in April. According to the Election Commission, the notification on the biennial elections will be held on March 6th. March 13th will be the last date of filing nominations. Nominations will be scrutinized on March 16th. while the last date for withdrawal of candidatures is March 18th. Polling will take place between 9 am to 4 pm on March 26th, while counting will take place an hour after the polls end. Prominent among those who are retiring are Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman Harivansh, Union Minister Ramdas Athavale, Congress veteran Motilal Vora, BJP leader Vijay Goyal, Kumari Selja of Congress, NCP leader Sharad Pawar, Tiruchi Siva of DMK, CPIM leader Ritabrata Banerjee, Sasikala Pushpa of AIA-DMK, and former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Digvijay Singh, among others. Of the 17 states, Maharashtra has the highest number of retiring MPs with 7, while Himachal has least with 1. Apart from this, 6 vacancies are from Tamil Nadu, followed by 5 from West Bengal and Bihar, 4 each from Odisha, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh, 3 each from Assam, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, 2 each from Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Haryana and Jharkhand, 1 each from Manipur and Meghalaya. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha Television.
And with that, we'll slip into a very quick break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay with us. And some other developments, around 12.67 lakh jobs were created in December 2019 against 14.59 lakhs in the previous month, according to the payroll data of the Employees State Insurance Corporation. According to the report by the National Statistical Office, gross enrollments of new subscribers with ESIC were 1.49 crores during the entire financial year 2018-19. The report also showed that during the September 2017 to December 2019 period, around 3.50 crores new subscribers joined the ESIC scheme. And now the news on the situation of coronavirus. The death toll from the coronavirus is now more than 2,715 worldwide, with the vast majority in mainland China. There has been more than 80,000 global cases. World Health Organization officials say it's still too early to declare the novel coronavirus a pandemic, but now is the time to prepare. In Iran, close to 100 people have officially been infected. More than 1,140 people have been infected in South Korea, where 10 people have died. The country has the most infections outside China. Meanwhile, several European countries have announced their first coronavirus cases, with all appearing to be linked to the growing outbreak in Italy. Austria, Croatia and Switzerland said that the cases involved people who had been to Italy, as did Algeria in Africa. The first positive virus test has been recorded in Latin America. A Brazilian resident just returned from Italy. Italy has in recent days become Europe's worst affected country, with more than 320 cases and 11 deaths. India is preparing to evacuate a large group of its citizens who are stuck in China's corona-hit Wuhan city by a special IAF plane. The plane is expected to land there with relief medical supplies today. About 90 to 100 Indians are expected to board the flight. India has also expressed its willingness to evacuate citizens from the neighborhood countries. India had announced plans to send Indian Air Force's largest plane, C-17 Globemaster, with medical supplies to China several days ago, but had not got permission from Chinese authorities. Meanwhile, last-minute details are being put in place to fly home all 122 Indians on board the luxury ship Diamond Princess quarantined over coronavirus. They will be flown to Delhi and put into quarantine for 2 weeks. There were 138 Indians on board the ship quarantined at Yokohama in Japan since February 3rd. In the latest round of tests for the coronavirus, 2 more Indians tested positive, bringing up the tally of Indians affected on board the ship to 16. All 16 are in hospital and their condition is reported to be stable and improving. Diamond Princess became the site of the biggest coronavirus outbreak after Wuhan in China, with over 700 people on board the affected ship. And ISRO will launch its geoimaging satellite GISat-1 on board the Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle GSLV-F10 next month. The launch is tentatively scheduled at 5:43 p.m. on March 5th from Sriharikota's Satish Dhawan Space Center. Weighing about 2,275 kilograms, GISat-1 is a state-of-the-art agile Earth observation satellite which would be placed in a geosynchronous transfer orbit by GSLV-F10. GISat-1 would facilitate near real-time observation of the Indian subcontinent under cloud-free condition at frequent intervals. And nation is marking the first anniversary of the Balakot airstrikes today. In the wee hours on February 26th last year, the Indian Air Force carried out airstrikes in terror camps in Balakot and Site, Pakistan. These airstrikes were carried out in the aftermath of February 14th Pulwama terror attack, where 40 CRPF jawans were killed when an IED-laden SUV rammed into a CRPF convoy. IAF Chief R.K.S. Bhadoria will visit Srinagar today to mark the first anniversary of the Balakot airstrikes. Meanwhile, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh took to Twitter and called the Balakot airstrike a successful counter-terror operation launched by the fearless warriors of the Indian Air Force. And nation is remembering a freedom fighter, social reformer, writer and philosopher Veer Savarkar on his death anniversary today. In a tweet, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that Savarkar instilled the spirit of nationalism, courage and inspired people to fight for freedom in India. He added that Savarkar's life and contributions will remain as a great source of inspiration in the mission to achieve an inclusive society. And now let's talk about the environment and climate change. Climate change threatens global security with loss of livelihoods, increased illness and battles over scarce food and water. Pressures from global warming is likely to intensify political tensions, unrest and conflict. A report by the Center of Climate and Security says that climate change is likely to fuel violent extremism and break down government security systems. Border security and infrastructure will break down as resources grow scarce, fueling extremism, crime and human trafficking. War-torn countries in Africa and the Middle East are considered most at risk, while industrialized regions are also vulnerable. While the Paris Climate Agreement aims to keep the Earth's temperature rise below 2 degrees Celsius, there is a lot that needs to be done at individual level as well. And that's all we have for you in this bulletin. But before we wrap up the show, a quick look at the weather update. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.